Okay, y'all, so this is the introductory video for the prerequisites that you need to get into the nursing program at Miami Dade. So, number one, if you already have an associate's degree, you kind of have a jump on things because you have finished all of the general education requirements. So yay you've done that part. Now, if you don't have an associate's degree, there are some basic general education courses that you're going to have to take. For instance, ENC 1101, English Composition, SPC 1017, Fundamentals of Speech, PHI 2604, Critical Thinking and Ethics. Now, regardless of whether or not you have an associate's degree, there are certain classes that you have to take in order to get into the nursing program. Now, this is not the science course. It's still kind of like general education, but courses you have to take. So one of them is DEP 2000, Human Growth and Development. I did not take that class when I got my associate's degree, so I did have to take that. I took it summer of 2020 in a 6-week course online. I got an A in that class. It was easy, but I did have to study quite a bit. The next one is MAC 1105. They also allow you to take any other college level course equivalent to MAC 1105. So I did not take MAC 1105. I actually took MGF 1106 and I took MGF 1107. Either one of them qualifies. So that satisfied that course requirement. They do recommend that you take MAC 1105 because they say it prepares you for nursing math. Now moving on to the prerequisites that are specifically the science ones, which I had none of these. I had to take all of these classes in order to apply to the nursing program. So the first one was chemistry. So we have to take CHM 1033 and CHM 1033 Ale. That's chemistry for health sciences plus the lab. 3 credits for the lecture, 1 credit for the lab. I got an A in the lecture and I got an A in the lab. This class, to me, the most important thing about it is dimensional analysis. Remember that, lock it in, use Rate My Professor to get the best professors, because this is a class that you can easily pass if you have the right professor. Next, anatomy and physiology. So BSc 2085 and BSc 2085 Ale. That's anatomy and physiology 1 with the lab. 3 credits for the lecture, 1 credit for the lab. This class is not easy, but you can pass it. Just study, study, study. Next, you need anatomy and physiology 2. BSc 2086, BSc 2086 Ale. Anatomy and Physiology 2 plus the lab. 3 credit lecture, 1 credit lab. This class, hard. Oh my God. I took it online and I do not recommend that. I do recommend that you get a class that has a lot of homework, because the homework will save you in case you don't do well on the tests, midterms, or finals. Last but not least, for the associate's degree, prerequisite microbiology lecture, MCB 2010. It's 3 credits. Now, you are going to need the lab for the bridge program, the RN to BSN. So I do recommend taking the lab with the lecture, even though it's not required to get into the nursing program initially. Last but not least, HSC 003, HSC 003 Ale. Intro to Healthcare and the lab. It is 2.5 credit lecture, half credit lab. You'll find that they offer quite a few online lecture courses, which I took, and I'm glad I took it that way. And they also offer that the lab class is dynamic, so it's only a couple weeks long, because what you have to do is not very much. It's just a couple skills. So there are a lot of prerequisites. So, like for me, I'm a person who is transitioning careers. I had no idea I wanted to get into this 10 years ago when I got my associate's degree. So, I had not taken any of these science classes. It took me a year to finish all of my prerequisites, but now that I am done with them and I am in the nursing program, I can say, hell yeah, it was worth it. Now, there are some things you're going to want to do to further your education, which is once you're done with nursing school, you're going to want to do the RN to BSN program. So now I'm clicking through trying to find the prerequisites for that, because I was really fortunate in that I did have some of the prerequisites for the BSN already. And I'm in the process of taking 2 of the credits now. Two of the classes now, so that I can go straight from nursing school to the bridge program. So for the RN to BSN, you need Anatomy and Physiology 1, Anatomy and Physiology 2, Chemistry, Microbiology. You need HUN 1201, Essentials of Nutrition, which I've already taken. You need STA 2023, Statistical Methods, which I just took in Summer A. You need PSY 2012, which I already took. You need SYG 2000, which is Introduction to Sociology, which I am currently taking. This is a super easy class. I know I'm going to get an A in it. I got an A on the first test. I've aced every discussion, summary, all of it. And then you need DEP 2000, Human Growth and Development, which I took as a prerequisite already for to get into the nursing program. So once you have all of those completed, you are, well, that's not true. Okay, so when you get into the ADM program, there's certain things that general education requirements that have to be met in order to get into that program. There are more requirements that you need in order to do the RN to BSN. So for the ADN program, all you needed was ENC 1101. But to bridge to the BSN, now you need ENC 1102. You also need, it says Group A Humanities, Group B Humanities, Group B Social Sciences, which I'm thinking this might be like speech. I think this might be sociology. I think it might be psychology. You got to talk to an advisor about that one, because I already meet all these requirements already. You got to do your college level math, which is the MAC 1105 or MGF 1106 or MGF 1107. A general education elective. You need 7 credits of other electives, and then an upper division elective. And then it says here you need foreign language, but most of us did that in high school. And then you're ready for the RN to BSN. So there's a lot of work to be done, but I'll tell you this. When you are doing your prerequisites to get into the nursing program, you might as well just aim to get the associate's degree while you're doing the prerequisites, because if you do that, you will already be prepared to do the RN to BSN. So that is like Miami Dade prerequisites for the nursing program in a nutshell. I don't think there's really too much else I can tell you. All I can say is that they do, in order to get admitted into the college, there are 3 items that they weigh: your cumulative GPA, your science GPA, and your ATI-TEAS score. So you need a minimum of a 2.0 GPA. Hold on. I want to make sure I'm saying this correctly. So I'm going to go back to the website for the RN, the admission to the associates program. Okay, so it is you need a 2.5 cumulative GPA. You need a minimum of a 2.5 cumulative GPA, a minimum of a 2.0 science GPA, and you need at least a composite score of 60% on the ATI-TEAS. Now let me tell you how I matched up to that. I had a 3.1 cumulative GPA. I had a 3.4 science GPA, and I had a 76.7% composite score on the ATITs. Obviously, with this, I did get into the nursing program. I will tell you that I was probably one of the last batch of students to get an acceptance letter. What does that mean? That probably there's a good chance I might not have made it into the nursing program if some other people hadn't declined. That's what I'm thinking. Also, what could I have done to make myself more competitive? I did not study for the T's. I watched 2 Brandon Croft videos on YouTube for math. And I watched like maybe 3 or 4 Carolyn McAllister videos for the language portion of the T's. But I didn't actually study. I didn't study science. I didn't study reading. I didn't like sit down and really study. I just watched a couple of videos. I said to myself, if I didn't get in for this fall semester, I was going to retake the T's, but I was going to study heavy for math and study heavy for the language portion, because my goal was going to be to get an 85%, because I knew with my GPAs that with an 85% that I would be much more competitive. I'm going to direct you to 2 places. One is my website, nursingjourney.tamarab.weebly.com, because on that website, you're going to see my blog, and it has me talking about my journey from like my very first prerequisite till now and everything that I've been through and some of my experiences, and also there's some helpful information. But it also has study guides, it has syllabi, it has PowerPoint presentations, so there's a lot of information on there. 2, I'm going to direct you to allnurses.com. I did not discover this website until really late in my prerequisite journey. A part of me is kind of glad I didn't, because it was kind of nerve-wracking, like watching all these people talk for like almost 6 months about the whole process, and people get very like nervous and antsy. So it's not always the best thing to be on there too early, but it does help with getting some helpful information when you can't get it from the school because they're overwhelmed and bombarded by students who are just as nervous and anxious as you are. So, what was I gonna say? Yeah, allnurses.com. Google your school. So I Googled MDC and I found that there were threads for like every incoming cohort. So like I could see all the classes before me, people like asking questions about applying and people connecting with each other. They would start group chats, talking about the admission process, what kind of scores they got, how nervous they are. Then you see people getting accepted. Then you see them going through the process of, getting compliant to be able to go to hospitals and orientation. It's nice to connect to people who know what you're going through. So head on over to allnurses.com and sign up and share the joy and the love. So that's basically it. Now you can like watch the rest of this playlist. There is so much information for you there. You're gonna hear about chemistry, anatomy and physiology, like the specifics, tips, tricks, and like what you need to do to be successful. All right? I love you guys, and I look forward to going on this journey with you.